10 o'clock. Do you know your children are? And it is time now for the Peter Channel 10 o'clock news on this late Friday, May 22nd, 2020. It's 10 o'clock and the Dalton temperature is 69 degrees. Top stories on the Peter Channel 10 o'clock news is Joe Biden didn't apologize for saying black voters ain't black if they can turn in President Trump. President Trump deems NASA worship essential amid pandemic. Brazil is set to become world's number 2 coronavirus hotspot as pressure mounts on Bolsonaro. DOJ warns the LA officials stay-at-home extension may be arbitrary and unlawful. First, the FDA has made very clear on its concerns about using hydrochloroquine as COVID-19 treatment. Dr. Anthony Fauci says staying closed for too long would cause irreparable damage. Moderna unveiled encouraging coronavirus vaccine results and top executives up nearly $30 million in stock. Subway and elevator in Massachusetts lost social distancing. Lori Loughlin and husband Giuliani plead guilty in college admission scandal. NBA Hall of Famer Patrick Ewing tested positive for coronavirus. This church fought social disorders a month later was vandalized and burned down. William Marty Brown tried to confine and detain Ahmad Arbery, warrant said. Bank president seconds of fire were pulled from the wreckage of Pakistan plane crash. Our national security laws coming in Hong Kong and there's our sends a slain journalist Jamal Khashoggi forgives the kills, paving the way for pardons. Hong Kong properly condemns China's law as death knell for freedoms. It looks like Boston's only wax museum has ceased operations. Large crowds seen on the beach in Boston amid coronavirus warnings. But hopefully, they are following social distancing rules. Man killed in the latest fatal shooting in Boston and Cups face angry crowd. Hertz filed for bankruptcy as early as this weekend. All 3 U.S. states shed their jobs in April and Mississippi heavily to halt space jet mass production and app staff. Commercial airline crash in Pakistan, dozens dead. Don't be beat to threaten many record highs across western United States next weekend. Louisville police dropped charges against boyfriend and shooting. Breonna Taylor. FBI Director Christopher Wray orders will fulfill Michael Flynn probe. The number of new coronavirus deaths in case that continued its downward path Friday as they are headed towards Memorial Day weekend. Locally, there were 1 new death recorded out of 12 new cases at the Sun Chronicle circulation show where 4 in Amber, 4 in Plainville. There are 2 in Foxborough, 1 each in Northborough and Rentham. Mansfield, Norton, Redwood, Seacon did an update report. So far, the 10 year has reported 113 deaths and 16 and 24 cases statewide. The numbers appeared positive across the board except for nursing homes. Of 80 new deaths reported in the state Department of Public Health on Friday, 52 of the 69% occurred in nursing homes. After 321, nursing homes reported the DPH 229 at 71% reported more than 30 cases of coronavirus among residents and staff. The number increased by 1 over the 228 reported on Thursday. There were 805 new cases statewide. The 80 new deaths marked the first time since weekend this week, been fewer than 100, which is the first time since happened the week of April 5th. Meanwhile, it's the second week the number of new cases have been held down to 1,000 at least 2 or 7 days. The 802 cases, the lowest number of new cases, April 5th, 1764 were recorded. The total deaths statewide now stand at 6,228, while the total cases at 90,889. A 57-year-old Taunton man was killed in a 2-vehicle crash in Taunton this morning, according to the Bristol County District Attorney's Office. House of Worship's taking on different texts on reopening in Attleboro and beyond. George Ross, former Attleboro City Council and State Rep, dead at 70. Patriots owner Robert Kraft's Super Bowl comeback ring fetches $1 million of charity. Despite pandemic, more than 8 activities planned in the Attleboro area. Firefighters continue to battle hot and spots fighting from a separate brush fire that broke out the day for an island on the Norton Reservoir. After Brockton police responded to shots fired at Cherry Street, they seized an illegal automatic 9mm pistol with a 6-man custody from a magazine of a nearby vehicle. Second person arrested in stabbing death of Weymouth. Sean English Weymouth was charged with assault after the fact. Small business struggle with paycheck loans during the pandemic. And now, looking at the basic historic them to Crow Dragon Astronaut. They redesigned Puppet, the blood was gone over well. Antarctica's weird green snow set to spread due to climate change. Genius bees plus plants boom by biting them. Coronavirus vaccine development in China shows the early study of 100 people. At least 80 million children under one risk of disease such as diphtheria, measles, and polio as COVID-19 disrupt routine vaccination efforts, warned Gavi, WHO, and UNICEF. Study estimates 24 states still have uncontrolled coronavirus spread. And now, looking at sports at 10:06. NBA stars the Utah Jazz legends react to the death of Jerry Sloan. New York Jets signed quarterback Joe Flacco to a 1-year deal, and teams asking NBA if they could report directly to campus heights, and Buxton set to return with a pair of fight cards in Las Vegas next month. Now, looking at the traffic and transit check at 10:06. On the MBTA Fairmont line, train 1781, 9:50 p.m. from substation 10-20 minutes basket due to mechanical and Yale original train set. For train 1717, 9:20 p.m. from substation Barton. Substation over 20-30 minutes back schedule. Franklin Line, train 1718, 10:40 p.m. from Park Park 495, expected to park. Park Park 5:50 minutes back schedule due to later on train. And Fires are looking good. All right, looking at the highways and byways in New England. 95, stop on side a little bit on Milford, Connecticut, but looking at Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. 195, a little bit slow around the Marion stretch, and up in northern New England, looking good in Vermont, New York, and Maine. And now, looking at the weather at 10:07, it's going to be years of fog after 5 p.m. for that. Otherwise, increased clouds about 60 degrees, southwest about 5 to 7 on for Saturday, church showers before 1 p.m., and then church showers at 2 p.m., areas about before 10 hours. Clouds got temperature around 61 and 9 a.m., and then fall to 52 during the midday. Light of wind would come in northwest around 5 to 10 miles an hour more. West gets high, 24 miles an hour. Church it is 30%, and new response less than 7 inches possible. Clouds got coming mostly, clouds got about 44 degrees, northwest about 5 to 11 miles an hour. Gets high 21 miles an hour for Sunday, mostly sun skies high about 62 degrees, and northwest about 7 miles an hour for Sunday. Slight church showers after midnight, pressure bug up to 3 m. Mostly clouds for about 46 degrees east to about 5 miles an hour. Coming in the evening, just between 20% for Memorial Day. Slight church showers between noon and 1 p.m. Pressure bug for 9 a.m. Most of the clouds about 68 low, 33 degrees. Left east wind just reached 20% for Tuesday. Partly south cover 30% low, 59 degrees. Calming going to stop around 6 miles in the afternoon for Wednesday. Partly most of the south cover 83 low, 61 degrees. Southwest about 6 I'm on guess 25 miles an hour for Thursday. Most of the south cover 85 low, 63 degrees. Southwest about 6 I'm on guess 21 miles an hour. And for Friday, shut the showers. Partly south with 86 degrees. Southwest about 7 to 10 miles an hour. Guess 22 miles an hour. Church at 30%. Right now, not in it, it's a beautiful night and 66 degrees. That's going to be a bit of a channel. 10 o'clock news on this late Friday night, May 22nd, 2020. I'm P. Hope you have a good night. Goodbye. Stay safe, be positive, be healthy, be well. See you tomorrow morning in the morning. Hope you have a good night.